Why did we hate Addison Montgomery, and why do we love her now? Anatomy and private practice. Before we get started, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. The shocking entrance that made her instantly unlikable. Addison Montgomery didn't walk into Grey's Anatomy, she detonated it. The moment she appeared in the Season 1 finale, impeccably dressed, calm, and devastatingly composed. She delivered one of television's most iconic lines, "You must be the woman who's been screwing my husband." In a show that had carefully framed Meredith Grey as the emotional center and Derek Shepherd as her soulmate, Addison instantly became the villain of the fairy tale. Viewers had spent an entire season rooting for MerDer, investing emotionally in their chemistry, their longing glances and their near misses. Addison wasn't just Derek's wife, she was the obstacle, the interrupter, the embodiment of betrayal and inconvenience. The audience didn't hate Addison because of who she was, they hated her because of when she arrived. She showed up at the exact moment viewers wanted resolution, romance, and reward. Instead, she brought reality, marriage vows, and emotional complexity. The writing positioned her as the antagonist without giving her context, history, or vulnerability, at least not yet. In the language of television storytelling, Addison Montgomery was introduced as a threat and audiences reacted accordingly. Our initial hatred wasn't personal, it was narrative manipulation. We were conditioned to see Addison as the other woman, even though technically Meredith was. Without her backstory, Addison symbolized heartbreak, delay, and moral inconvenience. The perfect woman who felt cold and superior. Beyond the affair bombshell, Addison's demeanor didn't help her case. She was polished where Meredith was messy, confident where others were uncertain, and professionally accomplished without apology. In early Grey's Anatomy, Addison often came across as emotionally distant, sharply witty, and intimidatingly self-possessed. She wore couture coats while others wore scrubs, spoke with certainty in a room full of self-doubt, and carried herself like someone who had already survived the storm everyone else was just entering. For audiences conditioned to empathize with vulnerability, Addison's composure read as arrogance. Her refined confidence clashed with the show's early tone of emotional chaos and youthful insecurity. Viewers mistook her self-control for coldness and her boundaries for judgment. What we didn't yet understand was that Addison's polish was armor, built from years of disappointment, infidelity, and emotional compromise. But without access to her inner life, audiences filled in the gaps with assumptions, projecting hostility onto a woman who simply refused to unravel publicly. The affair revelation changed everything. The moment Addison's own infidelity with Mark Sloan was revealed, the entire moral landscape shifted. Suddenly, she wasn't just the wronged wife, she was deeply flawed, painfully human, and emotionally reckless. This revelation reframed her marriage to Derek, exposing it as already broken long before Meredith entered the picture. Instead of a scorned antagonist, Addison became a woman drowning in loneliness, seeking validation in the worst possible way. Her choices were undeniably destructive, but they were also relatable. For the first time, the audience saw Addison not as an obstacle to romance, but as a participant in a messy, mutual collapse. This complexity cracked the villain narrative wide open. Viewers could no longer reduce her to a stereotype because her pain mirrored the emotional chaos that defined Grey's Anatomy itself. She wasn't evil, she was hurting. And in a show built on emotional damage that made her belong, the affair humanized Addison. It forced audiences to confront nuance, marriages fail, people self-destruct, and blame is rarely one-sided. Addison as a woman who owns her mistakes. One of the most radical aspects of Addison Montgomery's character is her refusal to dodge accountability. Unlike many characters who justify their actions endlessly, Addison admits when she's wrong, repeatedly, painfully, and publicly. She doesn't hide behind excuses or rewrite history to protect her ego. Whether confronting Derek, Meredith, Mark, or herself, Addison acknowledges the damage she causes. This emotional honesty sets her apart in a television landscape filled with characters who deflect blame. Her willingness to say "I messed up" and to live with the consequences slowly reshaped how audiences perceived her. Redemption didn't come from grand gestures or dramatic apologies, but from consistency. Addison kept showing up, kept working, kept trying to be better. Over time, viewers recognized something rare: a woman allowed to be brilliant, sexual, flawed, and accountable all at once. Addison's growth felt earned because it wasn't rushed. She didn't demand forgiveness, she accepted discomfort. Private Practice let Addison finally be the protagonist. Private Practice did what Grey's Anatomy never fully could: it placed Addison Montgomery at the center of her own story. No longer defined by Derek or Meredith, Addison became a fully realized protagonist navigating love, career, infertility, grief, and self-worth. The spin-off revealed layers of vulnerability audiences had never been shown: her fear of being unlovable, her longing for family, and her deep capacity for compassion. Watching Addison struggle outside the shadow of Seattle Grace reframed her entirely. She wasn't an obstacle, she was the emotional engine. The series allowed viewers to witness her private pain, her ethical dilemmas, and her repeated attempts to choose better for herself. By the end of Private Practice, Addison wasn't just liked, she was deeply respected. Why we love Addison Montgomery now. Today, Addison Montgomery is remembered as one of Shondaland's most layered female characters, a woman who survived public humiliation, romantic collapse, and personal regret without losing her integrity or humor. We love her now because she represents emotional adulthood. She doesn't chase validation, she builds stability. She doesn't romanticize chaos, she chooses growth. In a universe full of impulsive decisions and emotional avoidance, Addison stands out as someone who learns. Her arc resonates more with age and experience. Viewers who once rooted against her often find themselves understanding her deeply upon rewatch. Addison didn't change to be loved, audiences changed in their ability to understand her. That's the mark of great writing and a timeless character. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.